After a long delay and return to form with the Pontiac Excitement race in Armory Digital, the Samsung Super Speedway Series flew over to a venue which isn't a common sight in racing series. Zen Yaltis, a 4.92-mile-long quad oval which dwarfs Indianapolis in all aspects. The 25 cars which started the race had a monumental task ahead of them, where any mistake could lead to some of the longest caution periods in the entire series. Leading the grid was Audi Man 2011, trying to forget the bad ending which plagued this Armory Digital race, followed by Hugh Madsen trying to follow up on his top 10 finish at Armory. Right behind them was GT Racer 22, who wanted to recover the 2 places he lost in the championship after a disappointing Pontiac Excitement race. With 20 very long laps ahead of them, the racers lost no time trying to run away from each other. Audi Man maintained his lead through turn 1, but GT Racer 22 had other ideas and overtook the Scot after turn 2. What they didn't know is that Elksmeet, who was further behind at the start, had rapidly flown up the standings, passing Audi Man through turns 3 and 4. Doodle followed through as well, taking Red Dragon and Victor Souza along for the ride. While sending Madsen and Audi Man straight to the middle of the pack. Red Dragon then took the inside line on lap 2 and passed Elksmeet, with Victor Souza slotting in right behind the number 2 Dodge. Now it was Harsk 100 and Suzumiya who appeared as the new challengers, trying to dispose of Elksmeet. But Red Dragon was busy with bigger things, overtaking GT Racer and taking the lead for herself. 4-car-wide battles were on the menu for Zen Yaltis as Formidable, Suzumiya, Harsk, and TBWHHS quickly proved with their own squabble. Cramming this much action in just 2 laps was showing just how much this long oval could do to the standings, and Harsk proved that by going far too high and missing the racing line completely. Results? The Portuguese Ford driver fell all the way down to last place, all in one turn. Meanwhile, Red Dragon had company, but not the friendly kind. GT Racer and Victor Souza were close, and they both overtook the female driver on the 3rd lap. Pit action began on the 8th lap, and it was Red Dragon leading the eager car train, with some cars shoving others into the wall. Vetman 24 squeezed TBWHHS's pit space before slowing down for his pit stop, but what TB and camera driver GT Racer 22 weren't expecting was Victor Souza pit maneuvering Elksmeet, cutting off TB's line and sending the Red Bull Toyota right onto the path of GT Racer, who had no other choice but to slam the number 83 right on its side. Of course, this meant that both GT Racer and Hugh Madsen had to stay in the pit lane for a longer time due to the damage that both cars sustained in the sequence of events which befell both drivers. More pit action ensued one lap later, with Suzumiya leading the car train this time around. It was clear that strategies were different for many drivers, hoping that pitting later would mean less lost time against faster drivers, but BK Glover and Swift Smith seemed to have forgotten about pit lane limits, both leaving with no space in between their cars. Some weren't as fortunate with their pit lane moves. Niku Driver HC pitted later in order to take advantage of a first place position, but soon his advantage was cut short by a fast and furious 5-car group led by Suzumiya, with Doodle and Smurfy Bug in tow. Suzumiya took Niku's lead and attempted to escape the grasp of the group that was chasing him down. But Doodle's Chevy engine overcooked the frosties in his car and caused what many were dreading, a caution period. The sudden cloud of smoke Doodle's car created caused a big crash when drivers including Riley Morton and Chiparilla attempted to slow down to avoid the stricken Chevrolet. Drivers like the B-Man were luckier, speeding past their wrecked cars with no damage whatsoever. Other drivers, like Niku Driver HC, were caught right in the middle and suffered some massive hits on their cars. Chiparilla was sent for yet another spin this season, but his car survived the wreck. That man took a few knocks but avoided further damage by going low and smashing the brake pedal. Knowing the caution period was going to be a long one, all the drivers made their way to the pits, trying to take advantage of the lap 13 chaos. On lap 17, it was Smurfybug leading the festivities, followed by the Cybertron and the B-Man. Racecar, who had been away from the top positions throughout the race, was now in third place, but quickly lost it to B-Man, while Smurfybug was holding down the fort in first place. With only 3 laps to go after a maniacal race, the drivers knew it was all or nothing time, and a victory could greatly help their mid-season challenge. Smurfybug was fighting valiantly, but so were Cybertron and B-Man, and soon something had to give. But come lap 18, it was still Smurfybug's race to win, until turns 1 and 2, where B-Man flew past Smurfy whilst going side by side with Cybertron, desperately trying to hold his position. But Cybertron had the inside line through turns 3 and 4, and wasted no time passing B-Man for his first place spot. B-Man fought back in the middle of turns 3 and 4 and regained his position as Murphy Bug regained second place from Cybertron. PK Glover appeared from out of nowhere, passing Cybertron on lap 19 and aimed at Smurfy Bug's car and his second place. With one lap to go, Smurfy Bug took the risk and dove towards the inside line, passing B-Man just before lap 20. Now it was Glover versus Smurfy Bug for the victory, a battle between Dodge and Toyota. B-Man fell to 4th while the Cybertron attained 3rd place and desperately tried to overtake both Glover and Smurfy through turns 3 and 4. But the challenge failed, leaving B-Man with 3rd place. And after 20 very long laps, it was Smurfy Bug, Smurf's Autosports leader, who took honors in the Zen Yotis as well as the coveted Brickyard trophy.